Welcome back to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I'm thrilled to be joined by Kyle Stout, who's the founder of Elevate and Scale, a leading email marketing agency that helps direct consumer brands unlock hidden revenue and put their sales on autopilot while spending $0 in extra ad spend. Who doesn't want to do that? Kyle is an expert on leveraging email marketing to maximize revenue by improving customer retention, increasing average order value, and driving repeat purchases. Kyle, first and foremost, welcome to the program. And how did you get interested in this line of work?
Thanks for having me. Well, I started out in the digital marketing world as a copywriter, and really I was just doing a little bit of everything, doing a lot of ghostwriting for some other agencies. And email marketing was one of those areas where I just kept seeing the best results and I enjoyed it. So it was just something I decided to deep dive into that particular area.
Fascinating. And it's such an important area, more important now than ever as, over the course of this program, I'm going to talk today about working remotely, which so many people are doing. So why is email marketing the most important strategy for product-based entrepreneurs that they should be leveraging right now?
Because email, even though it often gets overlooked by, social media and all the other exciting things, email is an asset where you have a direct line of communication to your customers and to your leads on a platform that you own and control. So compared to social media where something might happen where they make a change to the algorithm and all of a sudden people aren't seeing your content as much, or something happens where, your page gets banned for whatever reason or taken down temporarily. That doesn't happen with email, and the value of that asset, your email list, just continues to grow over time.
Absolutely. Again, I'm chatting with Kyle Stout, the founder of Elevate and Scale. We're talking about email marketing. And, our audience are so many entrepreneurs, people that are trying their best to be the subject matter experts in their area of expertise, but often they may not be the best marketers. So what, Kyle, are the top 3 mistakes that entrepreneurs are making with email marketing that I know you have the data to prove that it's costing them thousands?
So the biggest thing that people get wrong is whenever they send an email, they're sending every email to everyone on their list. And it makes sense why you would want to do that because you think, well, I've spent all this time and money building up this email list. I want to get the most value out of it. But the problem is that any email is not going to be it's going to be impossible for that email to be great to everyone. And if you write an email to try to please everyone, it's only going to be, okay to good. And you really want to start segmenting your list and creating emails that cater more specific to that group of people. That way people are getting emails that they think are great instead of just good. So that's one. Another one is getting the email frequency wrong. So a lot of times businesses, maybe if they're trying to do too much with their email, they're sending too frequently and they're just burning out their list. But on the other end, you might not expect to hear this, but especially for bigger companies that already have a lot of traction, a lot of times they're not emailing their list enough and they're not getting near as much value as they could out of their email list because, maybe the business owner just has an idea in their head that they don't like email. So they don't put as much into it and they don't realize that there's so much untapped potential. And then finally, the third, I would say, most common mistake is just being too salesy and not treating the email like it was originally intended and really just being more conversational with your email content.
Sure, absolutely. And, again, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to talk a little bit about some social and email marketing as it ties to hiring. But when you think holistically, Kyle, at all of sort of marketing strategies for many of the companies that might be tuning into this program today, where does email marketing sort of fit into that strategy if you were to create a pie chart?
Okay, well, so first you have to have traffic coming to your site. So if you don't have that problem solved, obviously you have to get the top of funnel traffic going so that way you can actually build your list. But really, I think it fits into multiple areas. So you can set up automations that are directly tied to your sales process, which is going to be a little closer to the top of funnel, where you're just making your website and then whatever your sales process looks like. So if you're a service business and people have to, let's say people watch a webinar or they hop on a sales call, whatever the steps are in between them landing on your site and them becoming a customer or a client, you can set up automated email follow-up in between each one of those steps to increase your conversions in your sales process. But then after someone's already a customer, then email marketing is great for just doing customer retention over time by, continuing to nurture that relationship and get more and more repeat sales from those customers. And that's where the value of email marketing really grows in the long term.
Absolutely. So how can a brand create emails that customers want to receive? How do you connect the dots between what the reader wants to read and is willing to open and the message that you're trying to convey?
So it really starts with the fundamental marketing research, just understanding your ideal customers. And so a lot of business owners, we tend to get caught up in working in the business and we forget to take time to work on the business. So if this is something that you haven't done in a long time, you might need to take a step back and just really sit down and try to figure out what do your ideal customers actually care about, their hopes, dreams, fears, all that kind of stuff. And then come up with a messaging strategy. So that way you're using that to guide all of the content. And a great resource for this that you don't have to be a copywriter or, an expert in this particular field to have a formula you can use is a book called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. I always recommend that to people because they explain it very well and they give you a process you can follow step by step to come up with a messaging strategy for any marketing and sales stuff that you do that's going to resonate with your ideal customers.
Awesome. I'm chatting with Kyle Stout, founder of Elevate and Scale. As you can tell already in this conversation, Kyle is the subject matter expert on everything relating to email marketing, which became such an important topic over these past few years. And I believe, Kyle, you started your firm in 2019. Who knew what would happen just a year later? So, Kyle, I want to zoom out for a very brief moment and learn more about the services your company provides and who should be talking to you.
Okay, yeah. So we provide, we take a holistic approach to retention marketing. So we're doing email marketing, SMS marketing, and we also help companies create and develop their rewards program. And all of those things we tie in together. So really they're all working together as one thing. And I would say email is really driving like 80 to 90% of all that. The companies that we typically work with are privately owned, product-based businesses, usually doing somewhere from between, $500,000 a year upwards of like 10 million a year. That's really the sweet spot for the companies we work with.
Awesome. And so, Kyle, what has 2020 through 2022 looked like in your line of work?
It's been crazy. So it's been very wild for all of the types of businesses we work with. E-commerce businesses specifically have gone through this huge roller coaster because in 2020 we had the pandemic. All of a sudden, everyone's at home. Internet consumption, as far as social media and all that kind of stuff goes, was just through the roof. And people could no longer go out and do stuff. So they started to replace that with buying things, just buying, like all of a sudden people were shopping online way more than they already were. So these e-commerce brands are having this huge explosion. But then on the other side, now there's all these issues of logistics and getting their products over from China. And then the costs are skyrocketing on that side. So, and then also people started to kind of dial back that spending. So, man, those people, business owners, they have gone through a full whirlwind of ups and downs. But along the way, we have been able to generate a ton of sales through email marketing. And as much as people say that they don't like getting marketing emails, it's amazing. They just continue to keep buying and buying from emails and even text messages.
That's wild. Well, Kyle, I know you've successfully proven your case of why entrepreneurs and small business owners should not ignore email marketing as part of their strategy. And again, it is part of the strategy, but like everything, you want to do it well. And folks are still very, very much attached to their email. So you don't want to miss this opportunity, as you say, leaving thousands on the table. So Kyle, how can we get in touch with you?
Yeah, the best place to find, I mean, you can find me at Elevate and Scale anywhere on social media, but the best resource I have for people is if you go to winbeforeyousend.com, and you can download a checklist that will help you send campaigns that generate more sales and engagement and save you time with a step-by-step process you can follow as you're planning out your email campaigns.
And let me guess, we could probably subscribe to a few email lists from you as well. So
absolutely.
Well, appreciate you joining us, Kyle. Thanks so much for sharing your expertise. I look forward to having you back on real soon. We've got to squeeze in the headlines, some commercials. We'll be right back here on the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship.